Good evening, everyone. The highlights of the news this Thursday. Traffic accidents. A Beaver County man is being held for murder. And more labor.
Well, guys, I have good news and bad news. It is officially getting, the bad news is that it's officially getting too cold for me to stay here in Pennsylvania. The good news is that I'm probably only going to be here for the rest of this week. I heard back from the realtor that they basically just need me to sign a bunch of stuff with the title, and then my realtor can sign everything else for me at closing. I believe it's November 30th, which I have plans and reservations to already be in Florida, so kind of chomping at the bit to get going here. But it's early morning. Well, early for me, it's like 9 o'clock, and as you probably just saw or are about to see, I got 7 tires for the truck, which was another thing I wanted to wrap up before I really officially hit the road here. And I'll try to explain why it was kind of a big deal for me, because I went up a size, which you say you're not supposed to do, but Tire Rack didn't seem to mind me ordering up a size. So originally on my truck is 225. I'll double check. I'll correct myself if I say wrong, but I think it's 275, 225, 70 17s, and I went up to 235, 80. Now, I didn't know if they were going to rub in the rear between the two dual rear wheels on each side. You know, a big issue with that when people run wider tires is that they got to get spacers, and then other people recommend against that. So I didn't really know which direction I wanted to go, but I knew I wanted more options in terms of tread. You'll see that the tread on these is a lot beefier than a little more. Maybe off-road capable, a little better, a little meatier than what was available in the 225 sizes. And the 225, and they also have per tire about 350 pounds increased load range. So those are two big key factors why I went through that. I got the general grabbers, and it came out to about $1,600. I think there's a mail-in rebate, which now that I think about it, I missed the deadline to mail that back in, so whatever. But yeah, it's a I wish it was a buy once, cry once, but it might not be the last time I buy tires on this truck. So anyway, we're going to head over to Cam's shop and get those on, and then since I only have a few more days here, I figured I'd probably try and vlog throughout the week and kind of just give you a taste of what it's been like mooch docking, as they call it, in your friend's backyard. It's not the most glamorous thing, but it's a means to an end, and I probably could have, once the house sold. Oh yeah, by the way, the house is sold. Yeah, if you didn't already, sorry, I just woke up. So yeah, the house is sold, and I probably could have gone back to the house and then continued to camp in the backyard there. But there's just the neighbors on the other side were kind of, I could tell they weren't a big fan of me doing what I was doing. And their dog is always barking at me, so Jason's been more than accommodating here, and I don't feel like I'm in his way, and it's only for another week, so I think I'm probably just going to stay put. But I do have to take the camper out today, empty the tanks somewhere, and then bring it back. And a few more days, once I sign all that stuff, I'll be on my way, heading south towards warmer weather for the winter. So we'll catch up at Cam's shop then. You looking for somebody to herd? You're to be YouTube famous like me?
Far from it.
Atlas wants to be YouTube famous.
He does want to be YouTube famous.
Atlas, you like the camera?
I'm all mad. I didn't give him a spot to lay on this morning.
I don't think Atlas likes the camera. He's like, what does he have in his hand there?
What's that going on over there?
He sees the microphone. And he's like, I don't like it. I don't like it. How much bigger? Oh shit. Yeah, maybe a little more than an inch and a half. Maybe. Yeah. Alright, so it's gonna sit higher. Demonetized. I didn't get the balancing yet, so show you balancing the tire.
Looking for those goose eggs.
Go?
Oh my goodness, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Huh? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Goose eggs.
For the YouTube channel. It's actually going back in.
Put it back. It's gonna cook a little longer.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at Camp Jason. I got the generator running over here to charge up the batteries, which have been going dead pretty much every night while I run the heat and everything. Overall, just the few miles that I drove the truck to get back here and around town, I'm really happy with them so far. It feels, I mean, I know I'm not driving it loaded up, but it definitely feels a little more squared and planted because the lug pattern on this tread is quite a bit beefier. I think I already used that word plenty of times today, but it's a little more substantial in the tread pattern. Sorry, trying to get you a better angle here. But yeah, so these are the General Grabber ATX in 235/80/17, which is technically one size up in the width and aspect ratio from the 225/75/17 that I had on there now. And like I said earlier in the video, they also offer me a little bit of increased load range, and I think overall they sit maybe a little more than an inch taller, so it raises the truck just a little bit, but it kind of gets rid of that Mickey Mouse effect of that the truck had before with the stock tires. And overall, I'd say I'm really happy with it. So I got to empty the tanks in the camper, and so I organized everything in there just as best I could for a quick trip back to my house to empty the tanks while the sun is still out. And I might actually just stay put there tonight and then end up coming back to Camp Jason here in tomorrow evening or later on in the week. Because like I was saying earlier, I just have some stuff to do with the title company, and that should all get taken care of this week. And then by next weekend, hopefully I'll be able to hit the road and head south, because it was 29 degrees this morning when I woke up, and I was in that sequence you saw that I was loading those tires. So that's plenty cold for me. I think that's about the time that I get the signal to get the heck out of here. So I think the batteries might be getting low here, but I'll film what I can of the loading up here, and I'll probably catch up with you in the next sequence of this video. I don't even know what that's going to be at this point, but just stay tuned. For anybody who's wondering how it's a little tricky, because I'm a bit pitched down this way, so I have to lift the camper way up and then pitch it down, which is always nerve-wracking. So I'll do a little time lapse and show you what that's like. You never know how it's going to go. Sometimes it takes me 40 minutes, sometimes it takes me 25 minutes. So that's about the long and the short of it. I don't know when the battery in the camera died, but yeah, it's basically me getting loaded up. It's a little bit crooked in the bed, but it's not that big of a deal because I'm going to be dropping it again in the next couple days. I'm not going very far with it. If I'm going to be traveling hundreds of miles, I really like to make sure that I have the gap from side to side on either side of the bed. I like to make sure that I have that be like, you know, perfect. But you know, for just getting over to the house to dump the tanks, it's not going to be a big deal. I'm probably going to be coming right back here tomorrow, if not later tonight. You know, now that I'm saying it, more likely tomorrow. But it's just, it can be a lot of work, just as anything with camping is, but it's worth it. You know, this is what I signed up for, so not playing the sympathy card here. I just got to get the turnbuckles attached on all four corners, and then I'll be good to go.